How have you been, my friend? Hi, Lynn. Are we ready for this? Are we going to do this? Yeah. Are we on YouTube? It always goes when I don't want it to, and it doesn't when I want it to. So that's a whole situation. Right? How rude. He should have just said it's Tam's color. It's all good. All right, we're going to pin this. Remind me to turn that off when we get started. Hello, hello. How is everyone doing? We are going to play with the stencils that we made in the Artisan Train mashup. So we're going to play with that a little bit. We're going to do some Halloween-y type jelly prints. Hi, Karen. Hey, Karen, I finally got our fabric. I'm excited about that. How is everyone doing today? Hi, Rebecca. All the friends. Lynn, I'm going to make you a mod. You got to be good. Don't throw anybody out. How are you doing today? Yeah, I know. It's a responsibility, right? Here we go. Craft doll, hello, my friend. I get to raid you today. I'm excited. What are you doing today? You find it. What'd you find? Nice. That's really cool. I love the pictures of it. So I've been playing with some of the paper just stuck in the gel print plate. Okay, that was almost disastrous. I know it is crazy that you're doing wire work. So I've been playing with some of the stencils that I made with the glue gun that I demoed on Monday. Miraculously, said demo went to the YouTube channel. So if you are so inclined to see how these stencils were made, going to on vacation, where are you vacationing at, my friend? So, but this is on the YouTube channel. It is Tam's Creative Journey, all one word, no spaces. If you would like to learn how to make them, I have a number of them here. And oh my God, the craft camp is amazing. Sarah, I'm jelly. Um, and it's very simple. It's fun. You don't have to draw to do it. There is a learning curve to getting the glue to be consistent, but it's loads of fun. So there's that. Today we are on a raid train and it is hosted by Daydreamer Debbie. Welcome. Hello, Autumn. Thank you so very much for the raid, my friend. And welcome everybody to the Atelier Artisan Demo Raid Train hosted by Daydreamer Debbie. If you are not following Daydreamer Debbie, please give her a follow. She is an amazing human and love her dearly. We are carrying this train through the today and again tomorrow. So if you type Atelier Artisan Demo Raid Train in your search bar, you will be able to bookmark all of the shows, and it would be very helpful to bookmark everyone's shows. Even if you can't go to them, it helps the algorithm to have more bookmarks. So thank you in advance for doing that and supporting our handmade community. MBH Creations, my dear Libby, thank you so very much for handling the modding and all of that. Much love to you, my friend. Um, on my train on Monday, which is Artisan Train Mashup, I actually demoed making your own stencils. So if you would like to see that demo, it is on my YouTube channel, which is Tam's Creative Journey. It's all one word. And you can see how these stencils that we're getting ready to use are made. If you are new to jelly printing, please be prepared to get addicted. I'm accused constantly of corrupting everyone and addicting them to jelly printing. Um, if you don't know what it is, there are a couple of companies that make them. Jelly Arts is one of the companies, and the other one that I would recommend is Gel Press. So if you do not have one, be prepared. It is fun to create background papers, journal pages, all the things. It is all my fault. You are very right, my dear. And I will take full responsibility because this is one of the most relaxing ways to play with paint. You don't have to know how to draw, you don't know how to paint. It is just a matter of I do. I corrupt you all. You are right, Lee. How are you doing today, my friend? So on the train, I created a crow stencil. I made a second one that's a little bit chunkier. And as I started playing with it, I also created a spider web. And someplace in here is a little spider. So I decided we're just going to do Halloween pages. Um, The gel plate looks like this. I always keep my back plastic on it, um, just to give it a little bit of stability because it's very wobbly. Also, let's see, you can use most of it. I'm going to be using acrylic paints today, but you can use, I know it's a jelly day. Um, you can use watercolors, you can use Sharpie markers, you can use watercolor crayons, you can use spray inks, you can use your distress inks, you can use your oxide inks. Pretty much anything ink you can put on this. You just need to play with it and learn how they play with each other. So I'm going to be showing you some basics. I know I'm so excited. I don't have an in-person show this weekend. Um, Finally, I get a weekend off, so I get to stay home, I get to play, and, I'm not gonna lie, my beads are still in my truck from last weekend. But in my defense, it was raining the last 2 days, and I didn't wanna unload it in the rain. Today, it is finally not raining, so you selfishly miss me playing with you. Katie, I will be here all weekend. Um, I don't have a bead show scheduled tonight because I am going to meet James Blonde this evening, but tomorrow I am going to be doing a beadroom show as well as a create with me. I've told Debbie that if she needs me to fill in for the train, I can do that. And we also have the fall handmade market tomorrow. So maybe Friday we'll just play. I don't know. So anyway, I've babbled enough. I am going to somebody remind me like 5 minutes before we raid to do a giveaway. And I'm going to turn the camera around and we're going to get started, my friends. Um, Switch and slide. We're going to go up a smidge. I don't want to bounce you. This is really hard to move this with one hand. Okay, so got it. When you are working on your gel plate, you can use almost anything on it, anything that is going to leave a pattern. You can use regular stencils that are you can purchase. You can make your own stencils. You can also, this is corrugated cardboard that I peeled one side off. This is bubbles. This is from a fruit bag. This is from a carpet backing from the Dollar Tree. What else do I have here? I thought this one would be fun. This is a wicker placemat. So we're going to be playing with some different things. I know, right, Katie? We're going to play with some different things, but the one thing that I really want to focus on today are the hot glue stencils that I made in the demo on Monday. Where is it at? Come here, little man. This is the little man that I made on the demo. These are some that I have made in the past. And over time, they can yellow. Over time, they can fall apart, but they're really easy to put back together as well as redo. There's a couple of things that I want to share with you as far as making these stencils. I will use these until they have a layer of paint on them that I like, and then I use them in my art journal as embellishments. So that's another class for another day. But this one will eventually end up in a journal as an embellishment. So keep that in mind when you're playing with it. Another thing that you're going to need is a brayer, and you need some papers. I suggest using inexpensive copy paper. I also have, this is like this is a roll of medical exam paper. I know, Ames, right? And you can make your own embellishments with glue guns. That's a whole nother thing too. There's a whole nother class going on. So one of the biggest mistakes that people use or people do when they're using a gel plate is they use too much paint. Okay. That is like the number one mistake. There are ways to get around that. I just realized I do not have my book to roll off on. What in the heck, Tamara? I never do jelly prints without that. That's a situation. Okay, we're gonna punt. So I usually have an old book beside me that I can roll off the excess paint off of my brayer. Do I have it right now? No. Do I know where it's at? Nope. So we're gonna roll with it. Hi Debbie, how are you, my friend? Much love to you and big hugs. I'm rolling. I'm not pushing down hard. I am just smoothing the paint over the plate. I want it to be evenly distributed. I put a couple of dabs on, and you can see I'm leaving lines, and that means I have way too much paint. So I'm going to go side to side. If you get too much paint, you can do a couple of things with it. You can roll this off on your book, an extra book page. You can roll it off on an extra piece of paper to get some of that off of your brayer. Thanks, honey. Deb, if you need me to cover shows tomorrow, text me. Because I already have a couple of shows that are scheduled, and I'd be happy to just roll them over to your train. So I'm pulling off excess paint. I'm going to lay down this adorable spider web that I made. Get it all situated. And then I'm going to grab a piece of this tissue. I'm going to lay it down and I'm going to pick up some of that white paint. This is a layering process. The first color that you put down, and you can see me pushing it down, this is necessary when you're doing the glue stencil because it's thicker than one of the production stencils. But I want to get this white picked up and try to get in all the little crevices. This is kind of the same concept as when we do the plant materials. You want to get in all of those grooves. So I'm going to pull this up. The piece over there and a little bit up there. That should be good. Come here. So what I have is that spider web on a piece of tissue paper, which is going to make amazing ephemera for my journal. Now I'm going to pull this spider web up and see the pattern that was left there. Love it a lot. We're going to put a second color. So when you're layering your colors, when you pull it up, the first layer is going to be the most prominent, and then it's going to build backwards. And you'll see what I mean when I start putting more colors down. I'm going to throw this. This is one of my favorite purples to work with because it's very translucent. I'm just going to put a couple of dabs down, not a ton of paint. Again, going to take my brayer. There's still a little bit of damp white, so it's going to lighten it a little bit. And I just want to spread that out over my plate. You can see how translucent this is because you can see the white underneath it. This is how thin you want your paint. Thank you, Cheryl. Yeah, it's purple. It's a maze purple. So I'm going to lay down my crows. I'm laying them sideways because when I make this into a journal page, I want to be able to fold them, if that makes any sense. Where'd my other one go? Uh-oh. There he is. Come back here, my friend. So I'm just going to lay this on here. See if I could do this a little bit straighter. I'm going to take a cheap piece of copy paper. I'm going to lay it down. Yeah, Debbie, I saw a message in the group chat pop up that you need to check if you're still here, love. I'm getting down inside of those grooves. And I'm going to take this piece of tissue that I had before so I can pull up all this excess purple around. And I'm just getting in all the grooves of those crows. Of course, our Cheryl loves purple. It's funny. I love purple. We were talking about it. I was getting ready for my daughter's wedding and getting everything together. And she's like, Mom, just wear something elegant, something purple. And I realized that I really don't have a lot of purple clothes in my life. All of my clothes are boho colors. So that was an entertaining situation. So I ended up wearing navy blue to her wedding. So everything's earth tones. Yep. So when you're doing this, you can hold this steady and pull this back and see how there's still color in the around the head, I can push that down a little bit and try to get a little more of that if I see that I've missed pulling some of the stuff. Okay. So this is what we have. It's pretty cool. So there's your purple. Melinda didn't want. You're fine, babe. I saw it pop up. Is somebody not able to do their show that we need to get covered? Because I don't know if Debbie's still here. This is like a family affair, y'all. We're all here to help each other. It's a whole situation. Black. I don't know what I'm going to do with this, but we're going to do it. When I pulled all of that, I kind of messed up because I pulled all of the spider web and I didn't mean to. So we're going to throw down some black and we are going to, come on, get off of there. Try to put that spider web look back in. I don't know how well it's going to work, but we're going to try. I didn't mean to pull it all up. Oh, that's funny. Sorry, I'm reading the red chat going on in the background, my friends. So we have the black going on. I want to add some, I want this spider web in there, and I did not mean in any way, shape, or form to pull it all up. So we're going to see what happens. We're going to grab another piece of paper, and we are going to very meticulously push down the center of the spider web so we have some of that in our thing. Right, Libs? Melinda was trying to find a dirty word so she could be red chatted to say that message for Debbie. But I'm pretty sure Debbie's probably gone back to doing what she was doing and didn't see it. Oh, Melinda, I love you. You're so adorable. Oh, and by the way, your bat earlier, oh my gosh, so cute. Yeah, I will say, Michelle in Vogues actually said something about the mask before I did. And I seem to remember it might have been on Carrie's train. You did like, it was like the Lone Ranger like mask type thing on a pumpkin. Like 95% sure that. Now I pulled up the birds. Good Lord. I'm just kicking my butt today, friends. Okay, we're going to do this. That looks really cool, though. Looks really cool. I'm just not functionable today. We're going to do some of this gray-green mixed with the black. We're punting. We are going to put our little spider down. We are going to push said spider. I know. I don't know if this is going to work. And this is all about playing and experimenting. I'm going to unbury a white piece of paper. And we're just going to pull this because I messed up my layers. Again, I'm going to use this tissue so I don't get it all over me. I know, right? Libby has been so good modding everybody's shows, being so appropriate, not a single curse word in chat. She didn't even get redlined once. Not once. Okay, well, I'm liking this. Have I pulled using matte medium? Yeah. This is some awesome Halloween paper, y'all, to go in your journal. Okay, Deb's got it under control. So this is loads of fun, my friends. Let's see what else we can do. What damage can we do now? Let's go into some bright orange. I'm sorry I don't have a lot of cutesy Halloweeny stencils. Hi Greta, how you doing, my friend? Most of my stencils are grungy, spooky, all those things. But I mean, at the end of the day, we could grab, no, yes, we could. So you could actually grab like a silicone brush and you can actually draw pumpkins. Got it. I didn't know if you were still here, Debbie. We're just all trying to help you cover everything. It helps if you can see what I'm doing, right? I'm literally just drawing some fat pumpkins. I'm going to wipe this off on a paper towel. We want some texture in here. So we are going to get, this is the cardboard that I was talking about. I'm just going to press and push. I'm putting some grungy texture in here. And then we're going to grab, what color do we want to grab? So I want to let this dry a little bit because I don't want to lose the pattern that I just put in here, okay? I go through this very quickly when I'm demoing because I live in Arizona and my paint dries very quickly. If you are in a damp area, you may need to wait a little bit longer because what we're trying to do is keep this pattern. And by letting this completely dry, this pattern is going to stay. And then the next color I put down is going to fill in the blanks. And then I'm going to put a pattern on top of that. I'm going to let that dry. And so you see it's a constant layering, if that makes any sense. So you see when I did this last one, you see how there's a little bit here where you can see the bird. That purple and white that I put down, it stays there. And as you layer them and get more and more color, it all just layers on top of each other. Isn't my slider cute? Anyway. You can also use stamps on here. You just want to make sure that you don't let the acrylic paint dry on your stamps because it will ruin them. It's almost dry. Okay, not completely, but almost. So I think we're good to go. So from here, we're going to go with a smidge of green. I'm going to spread that out. Maybe didn't get enough. But you see how those shapes of that pumpkin are coming through? I just wanted to fill in all of those. Check out the bin, y'all. I know, right? I have you all so well ingrained in how to support and do this. I'm going to grab the placemat just because. And I'm not really pulling paints. I'm merely putting a texture in here. Tara was doing dope pens the other day, and it was interesting seeing her technique. Yeah, and you know the thing with it is everybody does it differently. Um, there's a lot of things as I learned this weekend, there's a lot of things I do that I just don't think to put on whatnot. And when we were in the in person with all of my jewelry spread out over 6 tables, everybody was like, "Oh my God, I didn't know you made this. Oh my God, I didn't know you made that." And it was really eye-opening for me that I need to share more of the things that I do. And here I am doing jelly prints again. So I do jelly prints because I know Deb loves them and this is her train. That's pretty much what happens here. Um, I'm pretty sure I've done jelly prints in her show in her raid train for like the last 6 months. I don't know, it's been forever. But do you ever really get tired of watching it? Because for me, it's so much fun. It's so relaxing, and I love corrupting people into a new art. Do not need to see all you do. Truth. I saved some of that for my friends, Lib. So I'm just burnishing this. I'm glad I corrupted you too, Sarah. And when you put this down to do your final pull, you're going to feel your paper is going to get cool to the touch. And that is basically the paint soaking in to the paper. I'm holding this again and I'm grabbing this edge up here and I'm going to pull it back to see if it's pulling, and it is. So I'm just going to slowly pull this back. We're going to see what we got out of this. Thanks, Libs. Alice, my friend. Terwin, hi. We were just talking about your jelly printing that you did and your techniques. Hello, hello, my friend. When are you going to do it again? I want to see. I know, right? I'm using tissue to pull the edges because, you know, demo and all. I'm trying to be good. I'm trying not to go full-blown grunge today. Just partial. It's never this clean, I know. I never clean it. Rarely, well, I can't say never. Rarely do I clean my gel plate. Some people clean it between each design. I'm not that person. try these things again. And there's really no right or wrong way. The only real thing that I can say is wrong way is if you use too much paint and you don't get a good image. Placemat texture, I know. It's like um when I do my live thrifting, I always look for plastic placemats, plastic tablecloths, anything that I know. Debbie, the birds are made out, they're the stencils that I made for my show on my raid train on Monday. They're made out of hot glue. And luckily that um demo went to the YouTube channel. So I showed how you can make your own stencils. You may pull during the monsters are your muse. Okay, I will be sure to bookmark that and hope I'm not busy, which would be a feat for me these days. I did put together the sign up for the next. Oh, that looks kind of badass, y'all. I like him so much. I like him a lot. So this is going to be a page in a journal. I'm going to set that aside. Yeah. Go watch that video. They're really easy to make. I will say though, with the video, I don't know if I clarified it on there. I'd never really checked to see. It is best to do it on a silicone mat because it's much easier to pull. We're going to do something kind of cray here. We're going to mix some colors. Come on, open, babe. Thank you. I want some darker at my edges. So I'm just putting tiny dots of black at the edges. I'm going to start in the center and kind of spread this purple out a little bit. And then I'm going to get into the black at the edges. And I'm turning my brayer because most of the black is on this side. But that purple is down there now, so I can go over the whole thing, give it a smooth coat. That is way too much paint. Lord, that's way too much paint, Tam. I'm just pulling some of that paint with my brayer, and I'm braying it off on the side. That's better. And then I am going to find a piece of paper under this stack. I'm going to pull that. Lay that down. Put my cleanup sheet on here to get those. Oh, that's still wet. Crap. Okay. My hand's sticking to it. Critter Chops, my friend. Thank you for the raid. My hands are kind of peeny busy right now, so we're playing with the gel plates. I got this wrinkled. That's awesome. I'm burnishing this down. Like I said, it gets cool to the touch. Right? That's awesome, Pamela. Again, I'm going to take this corner. I'm going to pull up and see if I grabbed it all, which I did. Bam. And that's what I was trying to do earlier. Some creepy crows for a cool last book page. Yeah, and I mean, you can do, thank you, love. This is what I was trying to do the first time, but I messed it up, so I had to go backwards and start over again. Um, yeah, it's just, you look at the colors that you put down. It's like, this is the blacks and the gray, or the black and the white mixed to make a nice gray. I put these down first as your stencil, pulled those up so the white stayed, then added the purple and black to create that mesmerizing purple and black background. And that is fun. I still, excuse me, I still like the spider web one with my little goobery spider over here. Am I making a Halloween journal? I guess I am now. I know, Lynn, and I told Critter thank you for the raid, and I gave Critter a heart. What, were you not paying attention? I've seen several people do jelly printing and I still don't understand it. Dark Bunny. So what you're doing is, I guess this is going to get into TMI maybe. What age group are you in? Because I can give you something that's comparable, probably. Okay, so did you ever do carving stamps and stamping when you were in school? I know we did it when I was in school, but I'm like lino stuff, yeah. So if you think about how you gouge out the opposite once in art college, okay, so this is basically the same thing. Let me see if I can help you out. We're gonna throw down some white because white's like in your face. So my first layer is white, okay? And we're just gonna do a basic, come on, grid pattern. So the grid pattern is a carpet mat from the Dollar Tree, okay? So I've put this down. This is going to keep white paint everywhere this is. And I'm getting ready to use a clean piece of paper so you can see what I'm doing. I'm getting ready to pull up the paint inside of that grid, okay? I'm not going to get it all. So what happens when you do this and pull as much as you can, this has basically acted as a stamp on your white paint, okay? So I pulled up all of the dots. So this part is my top layer. Hi, Maria. How are you? How was work today, my friend? We've got 20 more minutes before we raid into Craft Owl. So in 15 minutes, somebody remind me to start the giveaway. So I'm going to let this acrylic paint dry. I got way too much. Lord, did I get too much? I'm going to dab some off. This is not normal, okay? There, much better. So I'm going to let this dry, and then I'm going to put a second color down. We're going to put bright orange so we have contrasting color. So this orange is going to fill in all of those spaces that I just pulled out. Lord, that's bright. Anybody that knows me knows I do not do bright colors, but holy moly, that's like in your face orange. So I just filled in all of those spaces. The next thing I'm going to do is grab, oh, I need something that's not going to pull all of that up. Look, we're going to do some spooky trees. Okay. So I have white, I have orange. We're going to put down some spooky trees. So what's going to happen is I'm going to pull all the color. The trees are going to remain white, orange, but all of this in between is going to get pulled out. Okay. So I've pulled a lot of that orange out and the white. So the only place I have the white and the orange right now is where those trees are. Okay. So you can very, very visibly see those layers. I'm going to go darker so you can understand the layer. I'm going to put a smidge of black because I want it to be a dark, spooky night. That was kind of weird. A dark, spooky night. So we're going to put black where all of that got pulled. Okay. Then I'm going to grab a piece of paper. I'm going to lay it down, maybe. Smooth it down, and I'm going to show you something. So when you look at the other side of my plate, you can see all of those layers. The white was first, then the orange, and then the black. Does that make sense? So whatever you put down first is going to be most prominent on your pull. I'm a genius. I don't know about that, but thanks. I've just been doing this a long ass time, my dear. I've been teaching art. Hi, Critter. I gave you a heart. I said thank you for the raid. And we're playing with stencils that I made with a glue gun. There, you're all caught up. And Lynn bitched at me because I didn't tell you thank you, but she didn't hear me say thank you. I guess neither did you. So thank you. I appreciate you. So when you pull this back, the first color I put down is there. The orange is a little bit behind the white, so you kind of have that mixture of color, and then the black filled in the spaces. Does that make a little more sense? Please tell me yes. If not, then I'll find a different way to explain it. This one's really cool too. Yeah, absolutely. The difference is you're pulling it up. Dark Bunny, I can explain that. I can answer that. You are not an idiot. I let the white paint dry. I I live in Arizona. I say this all the time. My stuff dries quickly because I live in Arizona, okay? Um, if you are in a wet environment that is humid, you may need to let it stay longer. You missed it all. I want to do it again. You may need to let it sit a bit longer. I'm going to go slow and I'm going to explain how that happens. Um, we're going to go back to my cool ass spider web that I made. This is a stencil that I made out of a glue gun. Pretty simple. Um, there is a video on my YouTube channel showing you how to do this if you're curious. My YouTube channel is Tam's Creative Journey. All one word, there's no spaces. It's one of those things, you know, when you find something and you start playing with it and you're like that aha moment of, oh shit, I just did this. That's what this is. That's what this is. So I'm just pulling up. So this is 12 minutes. Thank you, Libs. This is where the stencil is. So when I pull that stencil up, you're going to see the green paint. Here's what I pulled up, the excess. The green paint is on my plate, and I'm going to let it dry. Heat gun is not good. It can melt it. You can use a blow dryer on cold, or you can use a handheld fan. There are a couple of things that are really bad with a gel plate. One is metal, unless you're extremely careful, because if you gouge it, it doesn't fix itself. That gouge will be on every print you pull. The other thing is heat will warp it and melt it and cause divots that are irreparable. So as I'm sitting here, I don't have a clean finger. Ooh, look, I got a clean finger. It's dry already. So this layer is dry. So what happens is when I put another paint layer, it doesn't smear this. This is going to be our first layer. Okay. Sticking to the gel plate. So once that's dry, then you can put down your second color. Our second color is going to be purple because I can. Petra, Red Rock, my friend, how are you? We're playing with the gel plate because, you know, it's what I do for Debbie's train. Again, I still have green on here, so I'm just going to kind of spread this out. We are going to throw some, we're going to throw these trees back down and see what happens. No, let's do just some texture. Again, we're taking our mat and we're just going to put some more texture down. I don't want to pull a ton of that color. I'm tired. It was a long, long, long weekend and then the raid train, but I'm playing. I'm sorry you're sick, my friend. Drink some hot tea, add some honey and all the yummy things that we do. I hope you feel better soon. So now we have this purple. I'm showing you between layers so you see. So the purple is now there. behind our spider web, right? Mickey's back. Red. I don't have red near me, Petra. Pain in my ass. You are. I don't have any red near me, babe. Sorry. So this is kind of sort of dry. I'm going to put a smidge of black down, and we're going to grunge this out, and then we're going to pull it. And once I do that, I'm going to start the giveaway. And so we're just going to spread this out. Getting too much black, Tim. Telling you, on this black thing today. Pull excess. Set that aside. Get a piece of paper. Lay it down. I'm not making that mistake again, my friend. Putting this down. Burnishing it really well. Right? Yes, you should have a coupon to use if you unlocked any of my rewards. And I do have my bin fully loaded. There are crafty items, there are junk journaling items, there's bead items, there's tools, and there is also a fun thing that you can actually get a random gel print. And when you purchase something in a live, you can that's so sweet. So sweet. Are you kidding me? We're gonna put some green. No, what color did we not use? Petra says red. Good Lord, do I have red? I'm gonna start the giveaway. The giveaway is going to be. It's under here, I promise. A note card. Grab a jelly print, and when you click on your video receipt, you can go back and watch the whole thing. This note card, I'm trying not to get paint on it, is an envelope and a note card. That is the giveaway, so jump in there. We want to get as many people in here as possible before we raid into Craft Owl. And Pamira says red. Here we go, Pamira. Just for you, my friend. Let's see how this works out for us. Yeah, I know, guys. I don't understand that, but I'll figure it out. Blood red, vamp. I know, I saw that. I don't know. See what happens with that. I'm assuming it was a new person and it was a mistake. I don't know. So I'm going to put this on some book page because we can. Heavy paper. You use 80-pound watercolor paper for yours. Yeah. Chops. I'm using just basic copy paper because most of these I'm going to use as book pages in a journal. I also will use heavyweight cardstock. I mean, you can pull on it's well here. I'm pulling this shit. Ames, look what I just did. Ah! Anyway, this is a book page. So this is a whole nother technique on here. 300-pound watercolor. You can, Critter, but the thing with it is the cheaper the paper, the better it pulls. For all that is holy, my friends. Watch this nonsense. This is a whole nother technique where you do photo transfers. Yeah, that's a thing. Didn't mean to do that on purpose. Jump in the giveaway, y'all. We've got 2 minutes before we raid into Craft Owl. And I am going to pull this book page that I just inadvertently put on here. I think we're going to put white. Sarah's live. Awesome. Thanks, Mick. There's like 15 seconds. We're going to, no, we'll let that dry. This needs to dry. We're using the stencils that I made from the raid train. So these are the stencils that I made on Monday in my demo, and we are using them to do gel printing. This is a spider web. Okay, guys, I'm going to pull this. This is for a note card. I will get it mailed out to you tomorrow. We're going to draw it, and we will see who wins the giveaway. Melinda, I finally get to send a giveaway to you. Congratulations, my friend. Thank you so much. Thank you all for joining. I appreciate each and every one of you. We are going to go see Craft Owl. She's going to be doing wire works. So, thank you very much. If you want to grab a gel print, you got a couple of minutes. Why is it not letting me raid? Don't do this to me today. Thank you, Debbie, for always having me. Again, please follow Daydreamer Debbie. She is an amazing human being. And again, thank you, Autumn Leaves, for the raid. We are going to raid into Miss Sarah, who is Craft Owl. And much love to everyone. Have a blessed rest of your evening, and I will see you all soon. Bye.
This one. Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing this evening? Hello. I am an absolute wreck because the fact that I'm getting ready for vacation tomorrow, and always the day before vacation, everything goes crazy. It seems like